we took time to think about your health. Besides giving you a delicious experience, True Soya Oil boosts your immune system, aids your digestive health, and improves your overall well-being. For inquiries, mouth-watering recipes, and more, connect with us on social media. True Soya Oil. Make the choice that keeps you and your loved ones healthy.
May 1975, Mohammed Mo Gulamambas Dewji is a Tanzanian billionaire businessman and former politician. He is the owner of Metal Group, a Tanzanian conglomerate founded by his father in 1970s. Dewji served as member of the Tanzanian Parliament for Chama cha Mapinduzi from 2005 to 2015 for his hometown in Singida. Dewji was born in Mpembe, Singida. He is the second of 6 children of Gulamambas and Zubeda Dewji. Mohammed is single-handedly responsible for increasing Metel's revenue from $30 million to over $2 billion between 1999 to 2022. In 2022, Forbes listed him as the 15th richest person in Africa, with an estimated net worth of $1.5 billion. Forbes also described him as the youngest billionaire on the continent for 6 consecutive years. In 2022, Georgetown University School of Business awarded Mohammed an honorary doctorate of human letters for distinguished leadership in business and philanthropy. He also delivered the 2022 McDonald Graduation Commencement Address. In 2001, Dewji married Syra, his high school sweetheart, with whom he has 3 children. They reside in Dar es Salaam in Tanzania.
Hello there, this is Business Now, reaching you live from the studios of Vibrant Television in Lagos, Southwest Nigeria. Coming up, again, CBN raises interest rate at second MPC meeting. Private sector raise alarm over new rate hike by CBN. CBN again says it is collaborating with EFCC to probe banks and firms involved in FX racketeering. A National Assembly says it is partnering with WTO on digital and marine economy. We appreciate you for joining us. This is Business Now. I am Dennis Ofik. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, after its second Monetary Policy Committee meeting for the year on Tuesday, further tightened the interest rate and increased the monetary policy rate MPR by 200 basis points to 24.75% from 22.75%. It also adjusted asymmetric corridor around the MPR to plus 100 minus 300 basis points. The MPC retained the cash reserve ratio CRR of the money deposit banks at 45% and increased that of the merchant banks from 10% to 14%, while it retained liquidity ratio at 30%.
The committee's decisions are as follows. 1. Raise the MPR by 200 basis points to 24.75 from 22.75%. 2. Adjust the asymmetric corridor around the MPR at plus 100 to 300 basis points to minus 300 basis points. 3. Retain the cash reserve ratio of deposit money banks at 45%. 4. Adjust the cash reserve ratio of merchant banks from 10% to 14%. And 5. Retain the liquidity ratio at 30%.
The Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture and the Nigerian Association of Small-Scale Industrialists have explained that the hike in Nigeria's monetary policy rate, also known as interest rate, from 22.75% to 24.75% by the Central Bank of Nigeria will further accelerate the country's inflation and lead to massive job cuts across the country. While they described the interest rate hike as a move that would come with unintended negative consequences, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry said the MPR hike was a price that businesses would have to pay given the current state of the economy. The CBN again increased the MPR to 24.75% from 22.75% despite concerns about economic hardship. The CBN Governor Yemi Cardoso announced this after the second Monetary Policy Committee meeting for the year in Abuja on Tuesday. He said the new rate was focused on reducing current inflationary pressures and ensuring sustained exchange rate stability. We're still with the Central Bank of Nigeria, where the Governor Yemi Cardoso revealed that security agencies, including the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), are currently investigating questionable foreign exchange allocations and forward contracts previously estimated at $2.4 billion. The development followed the conclusion of the audit of $7 billion debts inherited by the Cardoso-led CBN from the previous administration of the Apex Bank. The new administration of the Apex Bank had engaged a global firm, Deloitte, to carry out an audit of the $7 billion debts. Cardoso had earlier said about $2.4 billion FX allocations from the $7 billion backlogs were invalid. Elaborating further on the issue while speaking with journalists shortly after the 294th meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee in Abuja on Tuesday, the CBN governor disclosed that security agencies were investigating the FX transactions that had been declared invalid by the audit report. The Apex Bank, according to him, is providing the necessary documents to help the investigation. Away from the Central Bank of Nigeria now, the National Assembly has expressed its willingness to collaborate with the World Trade Organization (WTO) in digital and marine economy. The Senate President and Chairman, National Assembly, Senator Godswill Akpabio, gave this indication while addressing the WTO media shortly after a visit to its Director General, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, in her office in Geneva, Switzerland. Akpabio is in Geneva as head of Nigeria's delegation to the ongoing 148th Assembly of the Interparliamentary Union (IPU). Meanwhile, Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives Benjamin Kalu, and Chairman, Senate Committee on Local Content, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, have sought the collaboration of WTO to boost the exports of the country's primary products and leverage the opportunities provided by the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, and Center for the Promotion of Imports from Developing Countries, CBI. Akpabio told the media that the delegation was at the WTO on a courtesy call and to look for areas of collaboration with the organization in the various sectors of the economy for the overall benefits of Nigerians. And up ahead, government to commence periodic review of plans by IOCs to end gas flaring. Details after this break. Stay with us.
Without doubt, you have used several cooking oils before, but one thing is sure, you have never experienced true soya oil. This is not your regular cooking oil, it is a cooking oil with soul. From our quality ingredient selection to blending, extraction and packaging, we took time to think about your health. Besides giving you a delicious experience, true soya oil boosts your immune system, aids your digestive health, and improves your overall well-being. For inquiries, mouth-watering recipes, and more, connect with us on social media. True soya oil. Make the choice that keeps you and your loved ones healthy.
Independent TV producer with creative vision and a passion for storytelling? Do you have visual content such as sitcoms, talk shows, dramas, lifestyle shows, reality shows, kiddie shows that are unique and deserve to be seen and heard?
Seize this golden opportunity iBrand TV is willing to give you to brandish your content on a veritable platform.
Captivate your target audience. We serve you with the perfect canvas to paint a story for the world to see.
Send an email to programs@ibrandtv.com or call 0810-5125-280. You can also visit us at Pale Agro Plaza, 12 Olubora Road by First Weather Bus Stop after Westgate Mall, Isheri Olubora Ojeju.
Without doubt, you have used several cooking oils before, but one thing is sure, you have never experienced true soya oil. This is not your regular cooking oil, it is a cooking oil with soul. From our quality ingredient selection to blending, extraction and packaging, we took time to think about your health. Besides giving you a delicious experience, true soya oil boosts your immune system, aids your digestive health, and improves your overall well-being. For inquiries, mouth-watering recipes, and more, connect with us on social media. True soya oil. Make the choice that keeps you and your loved ones healthy.
All right, glad to know you're still with us on Business Now on iBrand Television. And moving on now, the Minister of State for Environment, Dr. Isiaq Salako, has said the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency will be commencing periodic review and indigenous oil companies to stay on course to end routine gas flaring by 2030. Salako said this in Abuja on Tuesday at the National Stakeholders Engagement Meeting on methane mitigation and reduction in Nigeria's oil and gas sector. Methane, a potent greenhouse gas with significant warning potential compared to carbon dioxide, poses a major threat to the well-being of current and future generations and climate protection goals. Due to methane emissions, especially in the oil and gas sector, climate action for public health, food security and economic development. Salako said practical taken to address methane emissions in the country. Let's take a quick break here. We're back shortly.
Making a name for oneself in a competitive job market is one of the biggest challenges. Why would a hiring manager choose your application from among hundreds or even thousands of others? Not just the qualifications you list in a single line on your resume, but also the examples you give in an interview or cover letter that highlight your strength can make the difference between receiving an offer or being rejected. Finding candidate with the right skills has reportedly been the biggest hiring challenge for employers during the coronavirus pandemic, according to a global report that gathered responses from about 3,000 business leaders. However, another 63% of companies claimed they will engage a candidate with transferable abilities like teamwork, time management or leadership and train them in the technical facets of the position. The top 3 skills that employers will be seeking in 2022 are as follows. Dependability. A company's greatest asset is a reliable workforce. Employers place a high value or dependability in their teams. Therefore, it is crucial to emphasize this quality in your resume. There are numerous methods to emphasize dependability in your application, from showcasing your capacity to be self-reliant and meet corporate goals or targets to showing your leadership on a significant project. While describing your day-to-day duties in your most recent employment, you can also demonstrate to a recruiter that you are a dependable employee. Among the behaviors that demonstrate
All right, thank you so much for staying with us. We apologize for that little technical hitch there. All right, we'll now take our earlier story. Before that technical challenge, the Minister of State for Environment, Dr. Isiaq Salako, has said the ministry, through the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, will be commencing periodic review of the plans of international and indigenous oil companies to ensure they stay on course to end routine gas flaring by 2030. Salako said this in Abuja on Tuesday at the National Stakeholders Engagement Meeting on methane mitigation and reduction in Nigeria's oil and gas sector. Methane, a potent greenhouse gas with significant warning potential compared to carbon dioxide, poses a major threat to the health and well-being of current and future generations and climate protection goals. Reducing methane emissions, especially in the oil and gas sector, will strengthen climate action and unlock benefits for public health, food security and economic development. Salako said practical steps are being taken to address methane emissions in the country. The minister stated that President Bola Tinubu is committed to environmental sustainability and climate action in line with the multilateral environmental agreement that Nigeria is party to. The Nigeria Communications Commission says telecommunication companies will disconnect more subscribable identity module numbers not linked to national identification numbers on Friday, March 29, 2024. The Director of Public Publicity at the NCC, Ruben Moka, told journalists yesterday that there would be no changes to the deadline for the next phase of disconnection. The NCC's directive for disconnection is being rolled out in stages, with the second phase set for March 29, 2024. Continuing as previously announced, the initial phase took place on February 28, 2024. Subsequently, while the third phase is slated to begin on April 15, 2024. Moka said at the last deadline on February 28, 2024, about 40 million lines that were not linked to NIN were barred. The NCC has reiterated its commitment to enforcing regulatory measures aimed at enhancing security and regulatory compliance within the telecommunications sector. The same NIN linkage initiative is a crucial step towards improving the integrity of subscriber data and enhancing security measures within the telecommunications industry. Meanwhile, data consumption reached 721,522 terabytes, the highest monthly consumption ever recorded, according to the Nigerian Communications Commission. Data obtained on Tuesday from the regulator's website showed that these records surpassed December 2023, which stood at 713,200 terabytes. Active internet subscriptions totaled 161,977,883, reflecting a substantial increase from the 156,244,368 subscriptions recorded in January of the preceding year. There are different service providers that make up the number of internet subscriptions. They include telcos, that's the mobile internet service providers, ISPs, voice over internet protocol, and fixed. Mobile subscriptions accounted for 161,504,390, with internet service providers, wired or wireless, recording 213,876 subscriptions, fixed wire connections totaling 21,437, and voice over internet protocol reaching 238,180, according to the NCC. January 2024 witnessed a decline of 1.9 million internet users compared to December 2023, dropping from 163.8 million to 161.9 million. Nonetheless, internet penetration remained robust at 42.53%, with the broadband subscriptions totaling 92,195,937. Now, still to come, agri sector contributes 24% to nation's GDP. That's according to the Ministry of Agriculture. We'll bring you details of that story plus more after this commercial break. Stay with us.
Making a name for oneself in a competitive job market is one of the biggest challenges. Why would a hiring manager choose your application from among hundreds or even thousands of others? Not just the qualifications you list in a single line on your resume, but also the examples you give in an interview or cover letter that highlight your strength can make the difference between receiving an offer or being rejected. Finding candidate with the right skills has reportedly been the biggest hiring challenge for employers during the coronavirus pandemic, according to a global report that gathered responses from about 3,000 business leaders. However, another 63% of companies claimed they will engage a candidate with transferable abilities like teamwork, time management, or leadership and train them in the technical facets of the position. The top 3 skills that employers will be seeking in 2022 are as follows. Dependability. A company's greatest asset is a reliable workforce. Employers place a high value or dependability in their teams. Therefore, it is crucial to emphasize this quality in your resume. There are numerous methods to emphasize dependability in your application, from showcasing your capacity to be self-reliant and meet corporate goals or targets to showing your leadership on a significant project. While describing your day-to-day duties in your most recent employment, you can also demonstrate to a recruiter that you are a dependable employee. Among the behaviors that demonstrate dependability in the job are meeting deadlines, being prompt in your responses to inquiries, and volunteering for assignment. Clear communication is frequently a crucial ability recruiters seek for job candidates, especially since many businesses continue to undertake remote or hybrid work. The pandemic has made it even more important for us to be excellent communicators, ensure that nothing gets lost in translation because we are working in multiple locations, and demonstrate empathy at this trying time. Along with listing this ability on your CV and LinkedIn page, you should show off your communication abilities in a real-world setting, either in your cover letter or an interview with concrete examples. Assisting with presentations, giving comments, and asking comprehensive questions during meetings are all examples of effective communication. When a hiring agent queries you, how did you handle a circumstance that didn't go your way? You might mention that you gave your colleagues an update in real time via email or Slack, and then offer comment for how we could enhance our response moving forward. Problem solving. Due to the pandemic, we have all had to learn to adapt and be tenacious in the face of adversity. In the workplace where communication and collaboration can seem disjointed, problem-solving abilities have become crucial. Employers want candidates that can think on their feet and are at ease coming up with original solutions to problems.
All right, thank you so much for staying with us. The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Mr. Temitope Fashidemi, says the agricultural sector has contributed 24% to the country's gross domestic product (GDP). Fashidemi stated this at the inception workshop on the abatement of short-lived climate pollutants in the Nigerian agricultural sector project yesterday in Abuja. He said that the sector also employed over 70% of the population, with predominantly smallholder farmers, adding that a very critical reason emphasis must be on climate resilience in the sector. Fashidemi said that the Ministry of Agriculture is responsible for developing the agricultural sector of the Nigerian economy with a view to growing this sector, driving income growth, accelerate food and nutrition security, among others. Now let's take you outside Nigeria now. The Egyptian government says it has raised fuel prices in a move that is bound to exacerbate inflationary pressures on an already struggling population. The new prices were announced on the cabinet's Facebook page and came into effect Friday morning. The price of diesel, the main fuel for the transport of people and goods, rose from 8.5 Egyptian pounds to 10 pounds per litre. Egypt, a net importer of energy, increased the price of 95-octane gasoline to 13.5 Egyptian pounds per litre from 12.5 pounds. The government said the hikes resulted from the increased cost of importing energy because of the depreciation of the local currency and the global surge in energy prices following the turmoil in the Red Sea. And outside of the African continent, Japanese nappy maker Oji Holdings has announced that it will stop producing diapers for babies in the country and instead focus on the market for adults. The company is the latest firm to make such a shift in the rapidly aging Japan, where birth rates are the record low. Sales of adult nappies outpaced those for infants in the country for more than a decade. The number of babies born in Japan in 2023, 758,631, was down by 5.1% from the previous year. It was also the lowest number of births on record in Japan since the 19th century. In the 1970s, that figure stood at more than 2 million. In a statement, Oji Holdings said its subsidiary, Oji Napier, currently manufactures 400 million infant nappies annually. Production has been falling since 2001, when the company hit its peak, 700 million nappies. Back in 2011, Japan's biggest diaper maker, Unichamp, said its sales of adult diapers had surpassed those for babies. Meanwhile, the adult diaper market has been growing and is estimated to be worth more than $2 billion. Japan now has one of the world's oldest populations, with almost 30% of them aged 65 or older. Last year, the proportion of those aged above 80 surpassed 10% for the first time. Oji Holdings also said it would continue to make baby diapers in Malaysia and Indonesia, where it expects demand to grow. Well, a quick reminder that you can follow iBrand Television on all social media handles at iBrand TV on Instagram and at iBrand_TV on X. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel on iBrand TV and stream us live on Facebook at iBrand TV. That's the much we have for you on Business Now. We'll be back in just a moment to bring you news now. Please stay with us.
Independent TV producer with creative vision and a passion for storytelling? Do you have visual content such as sitcoms, talk shows, dramas, lifestyle shows, reality shows, kiddie shows that are unique and deserve to be seen and heard?
Seize this golden opportunity iBrand TV is willing to give you to brandish your content on a veritable platform.
Captivate your target audience. We serve you with the perfect canvas to paint a story for the world to see.
Send an email to programs@ibrandtv.com or call 0810-5125-280. You can also visit us at Palais Agro Plaza, 12 Olubora Road by First Weather Bus Stop after Westgate Mall, Isheri Olubora Ojoduba.
Without doubt, you have used several cooking oils before, but one thing is sure, you have never experienced true soya oil. This is not your regular cooking oil. It is a cooking oil with soul. From our quality ingredient selection to blending, extraction and packaging, we took time to think about your health. Besides giving you a delicious experience, true soya oil boosts your immune system, aids your digestive health, and improves your overall well-being. For inquiries, mouth-watering recipes, and more, connect with us on social media. True soya oil. Make the choice that keeps you and your loved ones healthy.
You're welcome back. It is News Now reaching you live from the studios of iBrand Television in Lagos, Nigeria. Now the Nigerian Army says soldiers killed in the Okwama community in Delta State are to be buried today at the National Cemetery in Abuja. This was disclosed in a statement posted on the Nigerian Army's X handle on Tuesday, adding that the burial will be held by 3 p.m. President Bola Tinubu is billed to be the special guest of honor at the event. At least 17 military personnel were killed by irate youth during a communal clash over a land dispute in Bomadi and Okwama communities in the state. According to the report, the personnel attached to the 181 Amphibious Battalion were responding to a distress call when they were ambushed and killed. After the killing, there were reports that the military was planning a reprisal on the communities involved. However, denying the allegation, the defense headquarters slammed the community and stressed that no amount of propaganda would stop culprits from being nabbed. And following his invitation by the federal government over his comments on the activities of bandits, Kaduna Islamic cleric Sheikh Gumi said he had a productive interaction with the agencies on how to curb banditry across the country. The Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, on Monday, while addressing State House journalists, had disclosed that the government deemed it fit to invite the cleric for questioning, adding that Gumi was not above the law. Recall that Gumi had offered to negotiate with bandits who abducted about 287 school children, 137 as claimed by the Kaduna State government from Kuriga Government Secondary and LEA primary schools in the Chukun local government area of the state. In a post on his formerly Twitter handle, Hamad_Gumi on Tuesday, Gumi assured his followers that there was no cause for alarm, adding that there was no animosity in the course of the meeting and called for unity and synergy to achieve everlasting peace. Now, the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit says it has uncovered 27 cells belonging to the indigenous peoples of Biafra (IPOB) in 22 countries across the globe, including the United States of America and the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. The NFIU said the US and the UK house the largest numbers of these IPOP cells per country, with 7 and 6 operating IPOP cells respectively in both countries. Details of the development were revealed in a newsletter exposing the funding of terror activities in Nigeria by IPOP, bandits and other terror groups through global crowdfunding and on-spot betting platforms. The federal government had in 2017 proscribed IPOP and designated the Self-Determination Group a terrorist organization. Its leader, Nnamdi Kanu, is currently being tried on the NFIU. In the document titled Counter-Terrorism Financial Newsletter linked the running of IPOP to 54 individuals across the globe. And the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps Commandant General Special Intelligence Squad has uncovered a massive illegal oil refining site in a forest in the Odagwa community of the Eche local government area of Rivers State. According to the NSCDC, the site has 10 illegal refineries with an estimated 500,000 liters of crude oil contained in about 50 illegally constructed reservoirs. The security agency said it arrested 5 suspects during a raid on the site. The NSCDC spokesman, Rivers State Command Olufemi Ayodele, disclosed this while parading the suspects before newsmen. Ayodele said the site was uncovered based on credible intelligence gathered. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Air Force on Wednesday said its personnel attached to Operation Delta Safe destroyed barges loaded with stolen crude oil. The service also said several illegal oil refining sites at Bile, Dariama, Elem, Bekinkiri, Temakiri, Opomakiri, and Degema in Rivers State were destroyed during operations conducted between March 25 and 26. The service, in a statement by its Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Vice Marshal Edward Gapquet, said a barge laden with illegally refined crude oil was spotted at Bile and bombed, while at Dariama and Tumakri active legal refining site with reservoirs and cooking pots were also destroyed. Now, the Federal Road Safety Corps says it has set up more than 200 mobile courts to prosecute traffic offenders during the Easter Special Patrol operations across the country. This was contained in a statement on Wednesday by the Corps Public Education Officer, Jonas Agu. Agu said the mobile courts were set up towards ensuring a safe and smooth 2024 Easter celebration. He quoted the Corps Marshal Dauda Biu as urging the commanding officers to ensure full deployment of staff for maximum visibility. Biu urged them to ensure prompt removal of obstructions on all highways across the country. This, he said, was in line with the operational guidelines of the 2024 Special Patrol scheduled to commence from March 29 to April 2. According to him, the objectives of the special operations are reducing road traffic crashes, road traffic fatalities, and road traffic injuries. A WHO Europe report covering 44 countries says on Wednesday that 16% of children aged 11 to 15 were cyberbullied in 2022, up from 13% 4 years ago. This report, according to the WHO Regional Director for Europe, Hans Klugis, is a wake-up call for all to address bullying and violence whenever and wherever it happens. 15% of boys and 16% of girls reported being cyberbullied at least once in recent months, according to the study entitled Health Behavior in School-Aged Children. The UN agency noted that the pandemic has changed the way adolescents behave towards each other. Virtual forms of peer violence have become particularly relevant since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, when young people's worlds became increasingly virtual during times of lockdown. According to the reports, other bullying has remained largely stable with just a slight increase. 11% of boys and girls reported being bullied at school at least 2 or 3 times a month in the past couple of months, compared to 10% 4 years ago. The highest levels of cyberbullying were experienced by boys in Bulgaria, Lithuania, Moldova, and Poland, while the lowest levels were reported in Spain, the WHO said, without providing detailed data. Let's talk some politics now. The Edo State chapter of the People's Democratic Party has picked the current secretary to the state government of Osaudion Ogie as a running mate to his governorship candidate Aswe Ighodalo. Ogie is an appointee of Governor Obaseki, who is believed to be backing Ighodalo. A top PDP chieftain who confirmed Ogie's choice yesterday said it was believed that the SSG would give the party a chance of winning the September 21 governorship election in the state. He stated that the party consulted widely before settling for the SSG, who has been a loyal party man and a grassroots mobilizer. Development was also confirmed in Abuja by the PDP National Publicity Secretary, Debo Lugwawa. Last month, Ighodalo, former chairman of the Sterling Bank, emerged as the PDP governorship candidate in Edo State. And up ahead, stories from Africa, the foreign scene, entertainment and sport. We have details after this break. Stay with us.
Without doubt, you have used several cooking oils before, but one thing is sure, you have never experienced true soya oil. This is not your regular cooking oil, it is a cooking oil with soul. From our quality ingredient selection to blending, extraction and packaging, we took time to think about your health. Besides giving you a delicious experience, true soya oil boosts your immune system, aids your digestive health, and improves your overall well-being. For inquiries, mouth-watering recipes, and more, connect with us on social media. True soya oil. Make the choice that keeps you and your loved ones healthy.
May 1975, Mohammed Mo Gulamambas Dewji is a Tanzanian billionaire businessman and former politician. He is the owner of Metal Group, a Tanzanian conglomerate founded by his father in 1970s. Dewji served as member of the Tanzanian Parliament for Chama cha Mapinduzi from 2005 to 2015 for his hometown in Singida. Dewji was born in Mpembe, Singida. He is the second of 6 children of Gulamambas and Zubeda Dewji. Mohammed is single-handedly responsible for increasing Metel's revenue from $30 million to over $2 billion between 1999 to 2022. In 2022, Forbes listed him as the 15th richest person in Africa, with an estimated net worth of $1.5 billion. Forbes also described him as the youngest billionaire on the continent for 6 consecutive years. In 2022, Georgetown University School of Business awarded Mohammed an honorary doctorate of human letters for distinguished leadership in business and philanthropy. He also delivered the 2022 McDonald Graduation Commencement Address. In 2001, Dewji married Syra, his high school sweetheart, with whom he has 3 children. They reside in Dar es Salaam in Tanzania.
Well, thank you so much for staying with us. Still on news now, let's take you outside Nigeria. Togo has adopted a new constitution that lengthens presidential terms by 1 year while limiting the number of terms to 1, which will likely allow President Faure Gnassingbé to extend his 19-year rule by a year longer than previously expected. The presidency of the tiny phosphate-producing country on the West African coast has been a family affair since 1967, when Gnassingbé Eyadema has seized power in a coup. His son succeeded him after his death in 2005. Under the new constitution, which does not take into account the time he has already spent in office, Faure Gnassingbé could now stay in power until 2031 if he is re-elected in 2025. This is a highly likely scenario because his party controls parliament. The new constitution, approved by 89 out of 91 lawmakers, says the president is elected by parliament for a single 6-year term. Under the previous constitution, adopted in 2019 in response to street protests, a president was elected by universal suffrage by a maximum of 2 5-year terms. It would have allowed Gnassingbé to rule until 2030. Outside of the African continent now, Thailand has taken a historic step closer to marriage equality after the lower house passed a bill giving legal recognition to same-sex marriage. It still needs approval from the Senate and royal endorsement to become law, but it is widely expected to happen by the end of 2024, making Thailand the only Southeast Asia country to recognize same-sex unions. It will cement Thailand's reputation as a relative haven for LGBTQ plus couples in region where such attitudes are rare. The new law, which was passed by 400 or 415 of lawmakers present, will describe marriage as a partnership between two individuals instead of between a man and a woman. And it will give LGBTQ plus couples equal rights to get marital tax savings, to inherit property, and to give medical treatment consent for partners who are incapacitated. Under the law, married same-sex couples can also adopt children. However, the lower house did not adopt the committee's suggestion to use the term parents instead of fathers and mothers. Thailand already has laws that ban discrimination over gender identity and sexual orientation and is therefore seen as one of Asia's most LGBTQ plus friendly nations. But it has taken many years of campaigning for same-sex couples to come this close to marriage equality. Well, that's it on News Now. Next is entertainment. Stay with us. Glad to know you're still with us now, talking entertainment. Properties connected to rapper Sean Combs, aka Diddy, were raided on Monday by federal agents. The Department of Homeland Security said it had pursued the law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation in New York, Los Angeles, and Miami. 2 properties were searched in Los Angeles and Miami as part of the probe. Officials did not specify the reasons for the raids or whether they were tied to Mr. Combs. Several recent lawsuits have accused Mr. Combs of sexual misconducts. In a statement, lawyers for Mr. Combs said the accusations were against him were meritless and described the raids as a gross overuse of military-level force. On Monday, Homeland Security Investigations agents conducted their operations in the 17,000-square-foot mansion where Mr. Combs announced his latest album release last September. The address of the house is associated with Mr. Combs' Bad Boy Films production company, located in the wealthy Los Angeles neighborhood of Holmby Hills. The area is home to numerous celebrities and the Playboy Mansion. And that's it on entertainment. Next is sports. And thank you so much for staying with us. Talking sports now, Team Nigeria secured a strong second-place finish at the recently concluded African Games in Accra, Ghana. While the overall medal haul was impressive, with 47 gold medals, the true story lies in the emergence of exciting new talents Some stakeholders spoke with sports correspondent delved into the implications of these emerging talents for Nigeria's representation at the Olympics and their potential impact on the country's performance. The African Games served as a platform for young Nigerian athletes to exhibit their prowess on the continental stage. Athletes across disciplines such as athletics, swimming, boxing and taekwondo demonstrated exceptional skills and promise, garnering attention from both spectators and sports enthusiasts. Obiagere Amechi, for example, in discus, shone a bright light. Esther Joseph in 400 meters. She is just 20 years old. Pristina Ochonogo in long jump. Olayinka Olajide 100 meters, 200 meters and relays. Consider Ekanem in 100 meters, 200 meters, 19 years old. Mausi Zano, 22 years old arm wrestler. Edidiong Umofia, 21 years old weightlifter. Ruth Ayodele, 23 years old weightlifter as well, just to mention a few. And also after a 21-year hiatus, Nigeria's handball team also clinched a medal in Accra. This resurgence suggests a renewed focus on talent pool that could challenge established teams on the international stage. Looking ahead to the Olympics, these new talents present both opportunities and challenges.
You know something about athletes and sportsmen in general. When it comes to motivation, you see them giving their best. These athletes were heavily motivated. They got their money immediately. They won medals. I think that spurred other athletes to do well. It's not a situation whereby they say you have to wait till you get to Nigeria before you get your bonuses. Bonuses were paid in dollars, and everybody were happy. I think the key here is that the athletes were totally motivated. They knew what's at stake, and they know what they will get when they win. So I think I'm so satisfied with the outcome of the African Games. I think if we continue in such trend, I think we'll have more cause to rejoice and more cause to smile with what the team just did in Ghana.
When we look at other countries and consigning like the drawing board, and those who performed now, there should be like what we call an award to encourage them, and also the upcoming athletes, because there is something that says when those who have graduated, there are also the grassroots are coming up. The next All-African Games will also be coming up. So they'll be looking forward to more athletes to perform more better, and upcoming athletes also. So it shouldn't just end on this platform. I believe there should be a platform to keep those who are there for more performance and record breaking and others. And there should also be a platform to bring up athletes that will bring up challenges. And where you have challenges, the best will come up. And Nigeria will be more greater and a better place off.
Team Nigeria's performance in Accra is a cause for celebration. However, the real test lies ahead. By nurturing these promising young athletes and creating the right support system, Nigeria can translate its African Games success into Olympic glory in Paris. Still talking sports, Flamengo and Brazil striker Gabriel Barbosa has been suspended for 2 years for attempted anti-doping fraud. The 27-year-old, known as Gabigo, allegedly made it difficult to carry out an anti-doping test the day before a game. Barbosa, who has played 18 times for his country, denies the allegations. Was part of Brazil's gold medal winning squad at the 2016 Rio Olympics. Can appeal the decision to the Court of Arbitration for Sports. The 2-year ban starts from the date of violation, which occurred on 8 April 2023. Barbosa signed for Flamengo on a permanent deal in 2020. The Brazilian forward completed a 17 million euros deal after a successful loan spell from Inter Milan, where he only played 9 times in 4 years. And nearly 7 years after his previous contract renewal, Atletico Madrid midfielder Koke has agreed to a new deal that should see him finish his career as a one-club man. Officially, his renewal is a simple one-year pact through 2025. However, Atletico have included a clause that will annually renew the contract each season, subject to both club and player deciding to continue together. The contract will automatically renew to 2026 if the player plays a set number of games in the 2024-2025 season, a clause that has been included in the contract of Atletico's various over 30 defenders. And lastly, still talking sports, Scarlets have seen their financial position worsen after a loss of almost £3 million for the year ending June 2023. The figure was more than £1 million worse than the previous 12 months when they lost £1.8 million for the year ending June 2022. At the same time, the region saw turnover fall from £13.3 million to £12.9 million as income via the Welsh Rugby Union was cut from £7.3 million to £6.7 million under the current deal between the Welsh Rugby Union and Scarlets. Dragons, Cardiff and Ospreys, each team will receive £4.5 million central funding for 2024-2025, down from £5.2 million this season. The 4 clubs are also repaying a £20 million loan negotiated by the WRU. The WRU posted a £4.3 million loss for the same period. This included a £1.9 million paid out to departing employees, such as former Chief Executive Steve Phillips and ex-head coach Wayne Pivac. Well, remember, you can follow iBrand TV on all social media handles at iBrand TV on Instagram and at iBrand_TV on X. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel on iBrand TV and stream us live on Facebook at iBrand TV. But that's it on the news this hour. I appreciate your time with us. I am Dennis Ofik. Good afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your day.